Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Here's a headline from the Crypto Basic. Expert says XRP high price would become necessity as demand grows. And so I'll share with you specifically what was stated, and I actually strongly agree with the important part of this anyway. There's a small piece of this that I got to slightly nitpick with, but not much. But I actually went ahead and crunched some numbers on some specific figures before recording this latest Moon Lambo hot jam. And you're going to find this fascinating because, contrary to what the Bitcoin maxis out there would have you believe, there's not that much XRP in existence. There really isn't. I understand that the max supply of 100 billion sounds like a really super duper big number, especially when compared to the max supply of Bitcoin, which is 21 million, but that doesn't paint the full picture. But before going further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. And so you'll see as I go through this, I'm going to make a number of points, and what I'm going to share with you, I think it's highly persuasive. You tell me, but I think that it paints a picture, a big piece of the picture, as to why XRP price could be way higher than it is in the future. Now, mind you, I don't make price predictions. I don't know anything for sure, and I could be way wrong and it goes to zero, but I have a level of confidence which hopefully you'll agree is deserved. Anyway, piece reads as follows. Versan Aljara, the founder of Black Swan Capitalist, took to Twitter to assert a claim the XRP community has supposedly been championing for nearly 2 years. According to Aljara, the argument is that the prevailing affordable price of XRP cannot endure as the global demand for this digital asset escalates. And I'm just going to go straight down to the comment that he made. So here's the actual tweet from a couple days ago from Black Swan Capitalist, who wrote, "There simply isn't enough XRP to meet the ever-growing demand for its utility, making a high price not just an inevitability, but a necessity to ensure the necessary liquidity to meet that global demand. It's time for skeptics to wake up to this economic reality." All right, so first, the one piece where I got to nitpick just a little bit, because I'm not 100% sure on his intent, but I want to be clear on my intent and what I personally believe. And then I'm getting into the really good stuff, because there's I agree broadly with the concept. I really do, and I'm going to, like, in fact, support what he's stating here with some actual facts and numbers here. But as far as what he wrote here with, how did he word it? Necessity to ensure the necessary liquidity to meet that global demand. So here's the thing. I've heard many people over the years state that the price of XRP has to be high because when you're talking about XRP as a bridge currency, you know, moving around trillions of dollars per day worth of people's money, you know, should that ever occur in the future where it's moving around that much, well, the price of XRP has to be high. Therefore, it would be high. And I say, no, that's exactly backwards. That is exactly backwards. This is my one nitpicky thing. That's it. Just one nitpicky thing. It's the case that the price of XRP must be high and the liquidity available, and then XRP can be used to facilitate those transactions. So it's not that XRP price has to be high because reason XYZ. It's that if it's high, which is different. If it's high and there's sufficient liquidity, then it can be used to meet those needs. So it's backwards. And I see a lot of people word it like that. So the way he worded it, I was concerned he might be thinking along those lines. I could be mistaken. So I just wanted to put it out there regardless, just to share my perspective. I could be reading wrong. I admit that. But when I first read that and then read it a second time, I thought he might be looking at it that way. And if so, I just wanted to share my take on it. But let's get into the really good and interesting stuff here because this is fascinating. So I actually did jot down my back of the napkin type of math here. But consider this. If the max cap of XRP, which is 100 billion XRP, if it were evenly distributed to each of the 8 billion people on the planet, each person would only have 12.5 XRP. That's it. Now, I understand that that's not something that's going to happen. It's not that this is going to somehow be distributed perfectly equally from person to person around the planet, but it's still an interesting and useful fact because it illustrates the point that there isn't that much XRP. You know, when you talk about 100 billion XRP out there, yeah, it's about 12 XRP per person. That's not that much. And a separate point, just worth mentioning here, although I didn't crunch the numbers further on this topic for this video, though I have in the past. You know, Bitcoin, although there's only 21 million, it's divisible by 100 million, whereas XRP is only divisible by 1 million. So each individual unit of XRP is called a drop. There's 1 million in each XRP. Each individual piece of Bitcoin is called a Satoshi. There's 100 million of those. So if you compare drops to Satoshis, there's only something like, if you look in terms of circulating supply, what would it be? 48, 50 times as many drops as there are Satoshis. There's not that much more. It's not crazy. Now, if you compare XRP to actual Bitcoin, so 21 million versus 100 billion, well, then you're talking thousands of times difference. But if you look at the smallest units, which is what actually matters, then no, there's not that big of a difference, frankly. But consider this. There are 4.7 million XRP accounts today. If that's how many people hold XRP, then about 0.5% of humans on the planet hold XRP. Now, here's the thing. I can't tell you how many humans hold XRP. That number just isn't available. You would have to have all of the exchanges on the planet divulge some of their inner workings. It's never going to happen. And I don't know of any other way to figure this out. So here's the deal. It is true that many people, like myself included, have multiple XRP accounts. But that's not the only thing to consider here. It's also the case that many people have their XRP on exchanges, and I suspect, though I can't prove it, I suspect most people have their XRP on exchanges rather than cold storage, and they're using shared wallets. So there could be an untold number of people with their XRP in one wallet on an exchange. So if that's the case, is it really just 4.7 million people that hold XRP? Because again, that would be about 0.5% of all humans on the planet. I suspect it's more, but I can't prove it. Now, on the flip side, you could argue that it's less because lots of people like me, have multiple XRP addresses, but I think what would overpower that is just most people not taking self-custody. So that's just a hunch. I can't prove it, but I feel fairly strongly about that regardless, because I don't think most people, they put a little bit of money into crypto. They don't want to deal with the hassle of putting any crypto, not just XRP. They don't want to deal with cold storage. I just don't think it's the case. Plus, if it were the case, you'd probably see a lot more, hardware wallet sales than exist today. I would hazard that guess anyway. So that's one thing. Either way, it's not that many people, and so you consider 0.5% of XRP. Let's just use that number, and it can be plus or minus. You can suppose whatever you want to suppose. That's fine. So 0.5% of humans hold XRP. Let's just say that for the sake of this conversation. Well, about 4% of humans on the planet hold Bitcoin. That's 8 times as many. Doesn't that represent an opportunity? Because look, I think way more humans on the planet are going to hold Bitcoin in the future. You're going to have quite a multiplier effect. But there's much more opportunity for growth with XRP. I won't be surprised if XRP's at 4% at some untold point in the future. And then higher than that, if we keep seeing adoption here. And consider this also, and I love that to me, this is very exciting. In 2017, before the bull run that led XRP to $4, there were nearly 700,000 XRP accounts. If that's how many people held XRP at the time, that would be just 0.008% of humans on the planet holding XRP. Now, after that bull run started, that led XRP to almost $4, which took about 2.5 weeks. So 2.5 weeks later, when XRP hit its all-time high, there were about 1 million XRP accounts. So if that's how many people held XRP at the peak of the bull run, that would be just 0.0125% of humans on the planet that caused the price of XRP to hit nearly $4. 0.0125%. And again, since we don't know the exact number of XRP holders, you could say it's plus or minus that. But this is the best data we have to work with. Either way, the number, it's minuscule. You're talking back then fraction of a percent of humans on the planet. And it caused it to go to almost $4. So what do you think as more people jump in? I mean, so now consider this. Now consider what happens when institutional money increasingly invests in XRP, especially now that the floodgates are open with XRP being deemed not a security. A large institutional actually, let me say it like this. Large institutional purchasers may have buying power equivalent to hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people. So think about that. So I'm talking about, 0.0125% of humans cause XRP to go to $4. Well, if you just add one entity that has the buying power of hundreds of thousands or millions, perhaps millions of people, You can have individual entities jump in that quickly impact the price of XRP. You can imagine what that does for supply and demand. And so the big money is held by institutions, not regular people, which is even more exciting than the stats that I shared with you prior to that. And so I agree with what he's saying, generally speaking. There's not enough XRP for all people on the planet, not at these prices. So I don't mean you wouldn't literally be able to purchase XRP in the future. It'll just be worth way, way, way more. There's not enough XRP for everybody on the planet, not at these prices. Not as the demand picks up, which I believe is an inevitability. To me, that's exciting. And we're here before the institutions. And that's why I wanted to share these thoughts with you. It's an interesting and fun and exciting concept. That's why it's so exciting to have skin in the game holding XRP. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.